Hello everyone, this is Shri Nardini. I'm going to discuss on the topic kinds of companies as per the Companies Act 2013. First, let us see the definitions and meaning of a company. According to Section 220 of the Companies Act 2013, company means a company incorporated under the Companies Act 2013 or any previous company law. Legally, a company is an incorporated association, which is an artificial person having a separate legal entity with perpetual succession and now let us see the various kinds of company. Companies are either unincorporated company or incorporated company. Incorporated company is one which is formed and incorporated under the Companies Act 2013 or some other earlier acts. Unincorporated companies are companies which no longer formed by the Companies Act 2013. If the number of members exceeds 10 in case of banking business and exceeds 20 in case of non-banking business, their shares are transferable, but the liability of member is unlimited. Such companies continue even after the death or insolvency of the member. Companies are categorized on the basis of certain classification. They are on the basis of incorporation, on the basis of liability, and basis of number of members. First, let us see on the basis of incorporation. On the basis of incorporation, it is classified into statutory companies and registered companies. Statutory companies are created by a special act of legislature. For example, Reserve Bank of India, State Bank of India, Life Insurance Corporation. The second one is registered companies. Companies which are formed and registered under the Companies Act 2013 or under any earlier Companies Act. For example, Tata Motors, Satyam Computers. These registered companies are either existing company or newly formed company. Existing company means companies that already exist before the commencement of the Companies Act 2013, and newly formed companies are companies which are formed under the Companies Act 2013. The next classification is based on the liability. Companies limited by shares, companies limited by guarantee, and unlimited companies comes under the classification of liability. Limited by shares. Maximum liability of a shareholder is limited to the amount unpaid on the shares held. Once he pays the full value of the shares, he has no further liability. Limited by guarantee. Companies that limited liability of the shareholder is limited to the amount he has voluntarily undertaken to contribute to meet any deficiency at the time of winding up. It may or may not have share capital. In case if it has a share capital, the member's liability is limited. They are not formed for the purpose of profit, but for the promotion of charity, arts, sports, and science, etc. Last one under the classification of liability is unlimited companies. The liability of the unlimited company is unlimited. The liability extends to their private property also in the event of winding up. The last classification is based on the number of members. Private company and public company comes under this. Public company means company which is not a private company. That is, in a public company, the public is invited to subscribe to the shares of the company, usually by issuing the prospectus. Prospectus means invitation. Shares are easily transferable in a public company, and the name of the company should always end with the word limited. In a public company, the minimum number of members is 7 and the maximum it has no limit. Private company which has a minimum paid up capital of rupees 1 lakh or such higher paid up capital as may be prescribed. It prohibits any invitation to the general public for the subscription of its shares or debentures. It is restricted the right to transfer its share to any other person. The minimum number is 2 and the maximum is 50 in case of private companies. So we will see a case law related to this. Case law is based on Salmon versus Salmon and Co. Limited in the year 1895 to 99. Regarding this case law, there are few judgments. So, a company is a legal person or legal entity separate from capable of surviving beyond the lives of its member. Company here mentioned is Salmon and versus Salmon and Co. Limited Company. This company is not in law the agent of the subscribers or trustee for them. The third one judgment is Salmon was entitled to 6,000 as the company was entirely separate person from Salmon. And the last one, the unsecured creditors got nothing. So the important keywords from this topic is voluntary association, artificial person, separate legal entity, perpetual succession, common sea. These 5 words are important to know what is a company, and on the basis of incorporation we have seen what basis of incorporation. It is statutory company and registered company. On the basis of liability, it is limited by shares, limited by guarantee and unlimited companies. On the basis of number of members, it is public company and private company. Okay, holding and subsidiary company. A company becomes a holding company of another if it appoints, remove all or majority of the directors of the later of the company, or if it holds more than 50% of the equity share capital, or if it can exercise more than 50% of the total voting power. The other companies which is so controlled is called a subsidiary company. The last important keyword is government and foreign company. Government company, company which not less than 51% of the paid up share capital is held either by central or by state or both of them jointly. And that's the from foreign company is a company incorporated outside the region of a nation but has a place of business in the nation according to section 591 of 1 is foreign company. So we have seen all the kinds of companies, the important keywords and case law regarding it. Thank you.